I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breaking in, shaping up. Then it's a revolution, I suppose. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa.
And we see the Spurs getting ready to go. We've got NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. And the guys checking out Tony Parker here. What can we expect?
He's pretty fun to watch, Kevin, because of his ability to adjust his shot in midair. It just seems like he can hang there longer than the defender can, and that allows him the time to get that shot off.
You know, one of his other qualities, Steve, is how quickly he starts to break. I mean, he doesn't need numbers either. He can be a coast-to-coast, rack-to-rack guy all by himself.
The Spurs happy to be returning to San Antonio after the road trip. Well, they are on top of their game right now, and guys, on top of the league, the best record in both conferences.
Kevin, I tell you what, they've actually been terrific on their home court, and they're starting another homestand right now.
Yeah, this has been their domain, Clark, no question. They made this arena a very difficult one to come into and try to win. So this game will tell us a lot about whether they're going to continue that dominance on this homestand.
Now here's Parker. Now the feed to Leonard. They get the rebound. Parker kicks to Green. Spurs passing it around. Here's Duncan, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well, you talk about the sustained greatness for future Hall of Famer Tim Duncan. How about this number, 13? That's the number of consecutive seasons to begin his career in which Duncan was named All-NBA and All-Defensive Team. 6 more times than anyone else in league history. Enough said. End of story. First ballot Hall of Fame.
Now here's Parker. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Ellis against Green. Back to Parker. 5 to shoot. Pulls up on the wing, and he knocks down the jumper. Going back to Duncan, probably more important to him than the individual accolades, Steve, have been the team successes during his time in San Antonio.
No doubt. I mean, Duncan is just a winner. He's gone to the finals now 14 years apart, first in 99 and then again in 2013. Pretty remarkable.
Here's Calderon following the score by Tony Parker. Marion kicks to Calderon. 3-pointers off the mark. Last outing for San Antonio, it was a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas.
Kevin, that game defensively was an absolute nightmare. They went into that building and just got blown out by a very hot team.
Well, they didn't defend those shooters like they should have, and once the fans got into it and the arena started rocking and thumping and bumping, things only got worse.
Now here's Calderon after the miss from Tim Duncan. 1:58 left here in the first quarter. Calderon kicks to Nowitzki. Buries it down low.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
Outside Leonard. Into Tim Duncan. And he finishes nicely on the way. Duncan's got his second bucket of the night.
He's hit the ground running here in the first, putting together a nice quarter offensively.
Calderon with it. He's picked up by Parker. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Calderon dishes to Nowitzki. No luck. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Last time they came together was in Dallas, where they fell to the Mavericks.
Yeah, last time out against this club, it was a loss that I'm sure is still fresh in their minds. Such a close game, and they were in major foul trouble by the end. They have to feel like it was one that really got away from them.
Now here's Parker. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Pulls up on the elbow. That's good.
I think they're still working out the kinks defensively because that was a blatant mistake.
They time it right. They can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
Yeah, that's the smart move there. That's how you want to end the quarter, but make sure you get a good solid possession here.
Now here's Ellis. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Dallenberg with the screen on Parker. Calderon. Nice teamwork to set up the big play and make the space for the J.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
Duncan inside. Defended by Nowitzki. The 10-footer. And it's sent back by Nowitzki. Now Calderon. Right now averaging 11 points a game. And it's Nowitzki penetrating. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, nice body control there. Narrowly missing the shot. Would have been a three-point play.
Had a free look at it after the foul. Nice play.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Well, all you need to know is he's shooting 90% from the free throw line. So you know he's playing with a ton of confidence at this point.
Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
Free throw good, Nowitzki. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. And so Nowitzki nails both of them.
Well, as far as the league's big men go, at the foul line.
Here's Ginobili. No good. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Spurs lead by 3. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Boy, the offense has been so smooth. Everybody working together, and you can tell they're getting good shots pretty much every time down.
Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine there. I mean, they keep the ball moving, they keep themselves moving, and as a result, they're piling up the points.
Mills out there with Ginobili. Then there's Bellinelli. Then it's Splitter, and it's Diaw in at the power forward position. That's the San Antonio 5. Now here's Ginobili. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Here's Mills. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, I think when you notice one of his tendencies and specialties, really, it's his ability to shoot the ball from the corner. He always seems to be drifting to that area, so proficient from that spot.
And there's a good reason for that, Steve. Usually he's going to knock him down from over there. I mean, we've seen it more than a few times happen that way.
Free throw good. Mills.
This last summer, the Mavs asked fans to submit some redesigns of their uniforms for future use. Always kind of neat to see when a team and organization reaches out for the fans' input.
Monte Ellis checked in for Dirk Nowitzki. Both shots good from the strike. And back to the Mavs, definitely a big move by them to reach out like that. Nothing like bringing crowdsourcing to the NBA and building a bridge, Steve, with your fan base.
Kevin, I had a chance to see some of the designs of the uniforms that were being suggested. Some pretty sharp-looking duds, but there were some other ones that were absolutely hideous. So let's hope the decision-makers in the Mavs organization pick some of the, let's say, the more clean-looking new uniform suggestions.
Now here's Ginobili, averaging 12 points a game. And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. Ellis, the pass to Harris. Back to Ellis. Shot clock at 6. Here's Wright, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Heads up, aggressive play right there. He saw the smaller man on him, took it straight to the basket.
A different look for Dallas. Duncan, he's checked in for Splitter. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Patrick Mills. So for Dallas, their last game a win against San Antonio.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have.
And Diaw kicks to Ginobili. 4 on the clock. Puts it up from 17. And it's off the back rim. No good. The Mavericks trail it.
Jose Calderon out of Spain is a terrific playmaker and shooter. He's not a guy who's going to put up big numbers, but you give him the keys to your offense, and he's going to make a lot of good things happen for you.
Now here's Ellis. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Wright. And he hits it to tie the game up. Brandon Wright. 1:52 left in the first half of basketball. And going back to Calderon, as good as he is offensively, Steve, you have to manage his matchups defensively.
Yeah, especially in today's NBA, quickness can be so deadly, and I think it's true. Calderon sometimes is at the mercy of those faster point guards in the league, but he can really play. He does an awful lot of good things out on the floor.
Now here's Calderon after the miss from Tim Duncan. Carter right side. Wright dishes to Carter. 5 to shoot. Shot from the wing. No good off the front iron.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Here's Parker. Connects in the foul line jumper. Parker's got 6.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Well, as we come down the stretch this season, these are the big men having the most success from the floor since the All-Star break. And you look at Wright, a great player, second in the league.
You know, it's one thing to be able to create high-quality shots for yourself, but you still have to finish. And there's no doubt all those guys can do both.
Yeah, every sentence needs a period. It's one thing to get the shot off, but you need to finish. You need to take care of business in there. Most of their chances are easy ones.
Dallas making a switch here. Dallenberg's checked in. 55 seconds left to play in the first half. Calderon passes to Ellis. Back to Calderon. Lock at 6. That one goes. Count it. Calderon's got the game tied up here for the Mavs.
Boy, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Calderon against Parker. The dish now to Green. Back to Parker. Takes a shot at the elbow. Good. Parker's got 4 points now in the quarter. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the half. Calderon up top. Banked in off the glass. Calderon's got 6.
That is a terrific effort on the shot. He's giving up a lot of size, but still finds a way to score.
I don't think that affected him in the least, though, Steve. I mean, he made it look like he was the bigger guy.
So a tie game here as we finish the first half. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Carlisle. And Rick, what have you liked about the way your team is playing tonight?
Shot making was there. We're not turning it over. We're doing a pretty good job defensively, but a long way to go.
Coach, thank you so much. Pretty good start, gentlemen.
All right, Doris, thank you. And folks, stay right where you are for the halftime show. Then we'll be back for the start of the second half in the third quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome, everyone. A critical time in the NBA season right now. The race for playoff positioning is on. The Spurs are making every effort to win. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second chance opportunities. Tony Parker's dishing it out, and the other team is taking it. They're running their offense right through him, and boy, is it working. He scored more than half their points. And on the other side, the Mavericks also putting up numbers. They've been relentless attacking the rim, dominating in points in the paint, and the bodies down low have been banging away. They felt the impact from Jose Calderon. Dirk Nowitzki also a big factor for them. And now a look at other postseason games. Over in Indianapolis, the Pacers will face off against the Hawks. And one game also on the docket. For the Grizzlies, they'll be up against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. That game is an all-Western Conference affair. 8 p.m. Eastern, that one gets started. And the other game that's scheduled later tonight, the Clippers out in Los Angeles will go up against the Warriors. Both sides looking to help their standings in the division. Tip time, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. And that's all we got for you here in the studio. Time to send you back out to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the start of the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Look at Tony Parker. What a contribution.
Well, he created a lot of opportunities for himself in the first couple of quarters. And I'll tell you what, he was smart with his shot making, too. Really took good ones.
You know, points per shot attempted is really one of the undervalued stats in the game, and it's a real measurement of efficient scoring.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Dallas, Marion and Nowitzki at the forwards. Calderon is out there with Ellis, and it's Dallenberg in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Dirk Nowitzki, the 7-footer from Germany, is certainly not one of the more explosive athletes in the NBA, but I don't know if we give him enough credit for how coordinated he is at his size. I mean, this guy is very coordinated in how he gets around on the court, especially at the offensive end. He's got tremendous balance, outstanding hands. Both of those allow him to be a terrific shooter and player.
Now here's Parker. He's got 8. Marion with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Calderon's got it. Ellis, that's good.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Yeah, absolutely. They made the steal pay dividends instantly in the open floor.
Back to Nowitzki, such a great hand-eye coordination. It's key for any shooter, and certainly key, Steve, for him.
Well, he takes a shot that for most NBA players is kind of a low percentage shot, that mid-range fadeaway jumper. For him, it's incredibly accurate. Well, if you're going to learn from someone, you might as well take some lessons from Tim Duncan. That's what Thiago Splitter has done in San Antonio, really kind of growing up under the tutelage of one of the great players of all time.
And Splitter taken 28th by the Spurs way back in the 2007 draft, but they had to wait 3 seasons, Clark, for him to come over from Spain. And as Greg Popovich was saying just this past season, he's finally showing what he can do because he's been healthy.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin, and I think it was a wait worth making,
yes,
quite honestly. I mean, one of the premier backup centers in the NBA the last 3 seasons, and he earned himself a nice payday with his new contract, too.
Now here's Duncan, following the miss by Monte Ellis, and that is good. And 7 points for Tim Duncan.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
No question. Pound it into the painted area and continue to put pressure on that defense.
Now here's Calderon. 6 points for him. Ellis kicks to Marion. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. Marion's got his first basket of the night.
I don't know what's happening to their defense. I mean, they don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Well, Monte Ellis has never been short on confidence, and last year he went as far as comparing himself to Dwayne Wade, saying the only difference between them is that Wade has rings. That's a pretty big difference, though.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He told the team he wanted to run their offense through Parker. Coach obviously has a ton of faith in his offensive ability and shared that faith with the rest of the players by insisting they get him more involved. His other point of emphasis was that they need to be making sharp entry passes into the paint and operating their offense out of the low post. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Diao dishes to Ginobili. Puts it up from 12. Jump shot is good. Ginobili's for San Antonio. And you talk about the talent and confidence for Monte Ellis. Steve, what's the balance between confidence and like overconfidence?
Well, I think the balance is in your decision making, and that's the trickiest thing for really talented young players to figure out. It's just when to attack and when to back off a little bit. And that's all stuff that just comes with experience.
That's good. Ellis has got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
There's Bellinelli, right now averaging 11 points a game. Mills gets the screen from Diao. Here's Bellinelli. It's hauled in by Harris. For Dallas, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Ellis outside. Rejected by Bellinelli. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. The Mavericks shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. Free throw drops for Wright. There's 25 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Here's Bellinelli, and he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
They're doing their best to erase the deficit here with some smart passes and some good shooting. I mean, those two things go hand in hand. If you're going to make shots, then the passes have to be on target and on time.
Right, the pass to Carter. Tries it from 19, and no good trying to get that one. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. The Mavericks on top, up 3. We'll get right back to the action when we return. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. And let's quickly have a look at the State Farm assist of the game, which came, Steve, from kind of an unlikely source here.
Yeah, it's the big fella here doing his best impression of a point guard. Serving up a brilliant feed here. That's gorgeous.
Spurs trail by 3. Leonard and Duncan are the pair at forward. Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And it's Diao in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Now here's Duncan. Clock at 4. Goes up on the high post. Mavericks with the rebound. And it's Harris off the drive. Here's Wright. The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. They get Boris Diaw.
What a big-time mismatch it's been in the post. Where's the defensive adjustment? They're getting housed down there.
They sure are. You got to come up with something. A double team, maybe a substitution, but this is getting ridiculous.
Dallas making a switch here. Calderon's checked in. Free throw drops for Wright.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
Now here's Calderon. Passes it to Wright. Back to Calderon. Harris outside. Marion kicks to Nowitzki. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Now here's Parker. Back to Green. Pass to Leonard. And that one's good. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Calderon against Parker. Calderon kicks to Marion. Nowitzki sets a screen for Calderon. 6 on the shot clock. Goes back up. And the bucket is good. Coming on the layup that time from Dallenberg. Dallenberg's got the lead up to 8 now for Dallas. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Leonard against Marion. Now here's Leonard. He started close. Parker outside. They grabbed her on this. Duncan. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
In the second half, they've made more of an effort to get it inside, and I like that. Be intentional. Be direct. Be aggressive. Force that ball in the paint.
Monte Ellis, he's checked in for Devin Harris. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Mavericks.
Well, I got to say, one thing that stuck out all game is the consistent penetration they've got.
And they're getting the ball inside, which is what I like. High percentage shots down on the block and in the paint area.
Ellis off a pick from Nowitzki. Green against Ellis. They double-team Nowitzki. The 15-footer. That one a little long.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
Here's Dallenberg. We've got 1:08 left to play in the final quarter. Parker dishes to Green. Over to the left wing. Here's Splitter. Good! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
And this game is really heated up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Well, there's always room for more offense, Steve. You know that.
Now here's Ellis. Now the pass to Nowitzki. Nowitzki draws the double. Calderon against Green. Calderon kicks to Marion. Launches a 3. And Calderon gets it to go on the assist by Marion. And the Mavericks lead by 6.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're down by 6. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Harris is checked in for Dallas. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Ginobili with the 3. Sean Marion grabs the miss. And that's an intentional foul. And they go to the intentional foul. He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one.
Yeah, no way you can come back from this deficit.
Just not enough time left on the clock.
Shot's good by Mills. And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul.
Smart foul there. You've got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 6. There's 10 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
Well, there's a little bit of time here to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul could make things interesting.
Very much so. Either way you cut it, they're going to need a pair of threes and some help at the other end as well.
Parker outside, out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. And now we've got the intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. And the Spurs with possession. And here's Mills for 3. Shot misses. So we see the Mavericks get the win here. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. And now down to Doris, who is courtside, standing by with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Dirk, during that second half, what brought the conviction the team showed that allowed you guys to win this thing?
I think we just battled, and that was good for us. I thought that really won us the game down the stretch. We scrambled for each other, we rotated, got a couple lucky bounces down the stretch, and that always helped.
Dirk, thank you. Kevin, it all starts with that competitive spirit.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Dirk Nowitzki.
No dreams replace the old ones. The old ones that never came true. And the same things that make you smile can make you cry. And I know it took a while.
Why they hating, wish you and yours the best. Feel so blatant, I attribute it to, I do me, later for the rest. You lived in